What's up, guys? I'm BTC. Today we're going to try something a little new, a little different. I'm going to talk about the hero select screen, class roles, and how we can improve it and make the game better. As I said in the opening, this is going to be a different kind of video. The hero select and character roles are things that I've wanted to talk about for a very long time. I just never really got around to making a video about it. And we are going to get to all of that stuff. How it can be improved, the things that would be better for new players, casual players, and just in general improving players' knowledge of what they need to pick in order to accommodate the situation and adapt to what's going on in their current match. In order to do all that, though, I kind of have to explain some other stuff, specifically about Jeff Kaplan and kind of a little bit about my history here on YouTube, so bear with me for just a minute here. Most of my videos are aimed at a general audience, but this series in particular is going to be aimed at the developers of Overwatch. Jeff Kaplan is used as the name simply because he's kind of the face of the game, but the developers in general. Quick history lesson for everyone else. Jeff Kaplan ended up working at Blizzard because he was in an EverQuest guild with some of the employees at Blizzard, and at times he would talk about the different levels and quests and missions he was designing in another game called Half-Life. So at the time, Rob Pardo ended up inviting Jeff Kaplan to go to Irvine and to check out the Blizzard studios and all that sort of stuff, and eventually he was given a job interview where he was hired and brought into the Blizzard team. Reading about all of this history, I was genuinely surprised at the amount of similarities that Jeff Kaplan and I have. I'm also a map maker, except it wasn't for Half-Life, it was for Minecraft. In case you didn't know, this channel originally did Minecraft content. I am one of the most famous Minecraft custom map makers in the world. My maps were some of the most popular and highly rated custom maps that have ever been made for Minecraft, and to this day they're still getting played. Now, I don't have any friends at Blizzard, nor do I have any illusion that they're going to try to hire me now or at any point in the future. But I want to do more than just make videos that kind of like give me a paycheck. I want to genuinely improve the game, and while Jeff Kaplan did so by making really constructive forum posts on a regular basis, I'm going to do so by making these videos. So, without any further delay, let's get into it. This is the current PTR Hero Select screen. The problem is the same as it is on the live game. There's no information here for players to use in order to better pick the characters they need to adapt to whatever situation is going on in the match. Now, I want to be clear, this is aimed at new players, inexperienced players, casual players, because the high-ranked already know what all the characters do and they don't need any changes. But for the rest of the player base, something more would definitely help. Because you look at this and you just see the tank category, but there's a wide variety of what those tanks can do. Same thing for support, and with damage, there's a ton of different things that they can do. The only thing you can do is click up here and you get some really generic information that doesn't really tell you too much about what the character is good at or what they're bad at. So I think that stuff would be a lot better if it was shown on the Hero Select screen. So I think the first thing that needs to be done is it needs to be changed to look more like this. 2 quick points. First, this is just an example. The names and positions of heroes can be moved around to fit whatever it needs to. That's not a big deal. But secondly, and more importantly, all of the stuff that I'm proposing is really nothing more than just a change to the overlay. There's no massive new system that needs to be added to the game, and all they would need to do is add some new images, move some stuff around, and that's it. It's minimal effort for a maximum result. Let me explain what we're looking at here. So first you have the 3 main categories: damage, tank, and support. And I think Blizzard is pretty determined to stick with this because it just kind of works, and also the looking for group system functions really well with it. But underneath that, the characters are broken up and grouped together in a way that makes a logical sense. Similar characters are put together. So let's look at the tank category. You have Shield as the first row. That's Orisa and Reinhardt. Obviously, they have very large barriers. They're good for blocking choke points, that sort of stuff. Underneath them is the Dive. D.Va and Winston, they're able to get into the enemy back line really easily. They have high mobility. Then the bottom one is Bruiser, which is Roadhog Zarya. They focus more on their damage-dealing abilities rather than protection. Funny enough, Zarya is actually classified as a Bruiser in Heroes of the Storm. So you have these different categories within the main three, and it just gives the players a better idea of what those can do. This can further be improved by adding tooltips for when people mouse over the little descriptive word. So for example, in the shield category, you would have a general description of what they can do, they would have a couple of pros about good things that the characters are useful for, but it would also have some negative things and some of their weaknesses. So high durability, team protection, and then pro, good for defending choke points and payloads. Con is limited damage potential. Another example is flanker, it would say high mobility damage, strong for attacking enemy backlines, but more vulnerable when away from the rest of the team. Again, all of this stuff is just kind of an example. Obviously, the wording would need to be changed, but I think you guys get the idea. Next up is this graph in the top right. I've wanted something like this in the game for quite a while, and I've also had a bunch of my viewers suggest similar things as well. I've seen this sort of thing in many other games, mostly they're RPGs, but I think it would still work quite well in Overwatch. I think a little graph like this is a really good halfway point between the nothing that we have now and full disclosure of all the numbers and all the stats of all the abilities. So since Blizzard doesn't want to encourage that min-maxing, this chart would be really nice as a replacement, because it would give the casual, the inexperienced, and the new players a lot of the information that they need at a glance. For example, when you look at the graphs and the tooltips of, let's say, the off-healers, it might say that these characters are strong at this or this, but they're weak when they're used as a solo heal. And that's something that a lot of the inexperienced and newer players may not understand. They might think that just a healer is a healer and it doesn't matter. But when they have all of this information right in front of them, they're going to be able to better make those decisions. I do have a lot more ideas, and I'm going to continue this series. I don't expect them to use all of them, but if they use even one of them, consider it a win. So what do you guys think? New hero select screen, what about the graphs? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out my Discord server. Follow me on Twitch and Twitter. The links for that stuff are down below. And remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault. Also, special thanks to all my Patreon supporters for helping to make this all possible. If you'd like to see what kind of cool rewards you can get for supporting the channel, check the links on screen and down below.